What's going on? It's your boy Miles Cunningham, and in this video I'll be talking about 4 hidden tactics that women use to control men. Now, if you are the type of guy that has been listening to me for as long as I've been around, has been listening to guys like Lucario for as long as we've been around and as long as we've been doing this, these type of things won't really affect you, right? So you got to understand what it is, right? These type of things won't necessarily affect you. However, not every guy understands game. You're probably just seeing my video for the first time. So these are things that you need to watch out for because women use a lot of different things to manipulate men, but in this video, I'll just be going over 4. So the first thing I want to talk about that is a hidden tactic that women use to control men is sex, the promise of sex, and their overall freakiness. So sometimes what happens is you get with a girl, you got on the first date, you probably wait till the second, third date. Some of you guys wait longer than that, right? And over the course of time, she might try to entice you. She might talk to you about sex. She might tell you how freaky she is, you understand? And then she'll lead you up to the first time y'all have sex, and then she'll do something freaky, right? She'll probably swallow the babies, or, she'll probably, lick in that special place, you understand? Lick in that place that most women don't be licking, you get me? She might touch you in certain places that, or she'll behave a certain way. She'll moan, she'll groan, she'll act real freaky. You understand what I'm saying? And because you waited so many dates, she's using that to get you hooked so you could come back, right? So you can want to see her again. So you can continue to be on the hook for the promise of sex and for the promise of seeing that freakiness once again. You understand? But a lot of times what she'll do is she'll space it out. So she'll have sex with you on the 4th date or the 5th date if you're the type of guy that waits long enough, right? And I'll make another video talking about how long you should really wait ideally. But let's just say that, you like to wait around, you like to go out on different dates. So she'll have sex with you on the 4th or 5th date, and then she'll space it out, let you take her on a couple more dates, and then she'll give you that freaky sex again, you understand? And every single time, for the time being, it'll be freaky, right? And like I said, she'll space it out. She won't allow you to have sex every time you see her. Now, what that does is it sets a precedent for her to not only control how sex goes because, you're waiting for it, right? And you want to see that freakiness again. But subconsciously, she also manipulates how long you're willing to wait for sex. So she literally begins to control you based on how often and with what type of frequency she chooses to have sex with you. And whether you understand it or not, you are now being controlled because now the promise of sex is, you place the promise of sex in her hands. And because you want that sex so bad, and because you know how freaky she gets, it controls you. You're now under her spell, right? And now she's definitely manipulating you and keeping the vagina held hostage until she's willing to release it to you. And you're being controlled, whether you know it or not. The second hidden tactic that women use to control or manipulate men is using financial superiority, right? So she'll pay for stuff, right? And for a lot of like young cats, or for a lot of cats who are not exactly established, you might be dating a woman who maybe a couple of years older than you or something like that. Or you might be dating a woman who you're around the same age, but maybe she has a better job. Maybe she comes from money, whatever. So what she does is she pays for things, right? She might encourage you to go half on a date, or she might just take you out. She might take you out on a trip. She might even buy you stuff. You understand? But what she's really doing is subconsciously, she's letting you know that she's in control of the situation. She is the dictator of the relationship. She's pulling all the strings, and she's manipulating you and putting you in the frame of mind that, oh, if I don't continue to follow her lead, if I don't continue to comply with her wants and desires, then I won't get the gifts, or she won't let me stay at her apartment, or she won't let me drive her car, and she won't take me places, and she won't buy me things anymore, and she won't pay for my haircut anymore. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times guys don't even realize what it is, but the man is actually being controlled, and the woman is using that financial superiority to her advantage to manipulate and to keep that man in control during the course of the relationship. Another hidden tactic that women use to control men in relationships is emotional manipulation. Sometimes they'll cry, sometimes they'll hurt themselves. Sometimes if you made the mistake of getting her pregnant unwantingly, she'll use the children against you. She'll appeal to your friends, she'll appeal to your family. She might appeal to your associates, co-workers maybe. There's a lot of things that women can and will do to manipulate you, right? And they try to get at you through your emotions, or maybe they know if something tugs at your heartstrings, they'll use that to their advantage, and they'll use that to manipulate you, right? They'll cry, give you crocodile tears or whatever to get you to do certain things for them. And a lot of guys miss these type of things, if you're not gamed up, if you're not socially aware, if you don't have a certain level of social intelligence or social awareness, you won't realize when you're being manipulated with these things. Because remember, a woman's emotions, that's her weapon. For a lot of women, that's her weapon, that's her tool. A lot of women can cry on contact. A lot of women are willing to hurt themselves. A lot of women are willing to use any and everything. Anything that you love, they'll use it to manipulate you. They'll use it to get you to do what they want you to do. So you have to be very careful and vet a woman very stringently to find out if she's trustworthy, to find out if she even deserves to be that close to you. Because manipulation doesn't work until she gets close. And a woman shouldn't get that close until you have vetted her. And if you want to learn more about the vetting process, go to badboymembership.com. We have a program on there that speaks exclusively about the vetting process, like what you should do in the first 3 months, the next 3 months, what you should be doing for a full year, and so on and so forth. The fourth hidden tactic that women use to control men is relationship codependence dynamics, where they will use passive aggressiveness, they'll argue with you, they'll nag you, they'll give you the silent treatment, they won't do certain chores that they usually do, like if they cook dinner, they won't cook dinner. Recently, I've heard women advising other women on TikTok to purposely burn dinner just so their husband or their boyfriend or men will not ask them to cook anymore, right? These are different hidden tactics that women will use to control men. If there's anything that you get used to in a relationship, they'll try to take that away from you to try to get you to do something else that they want you to do, right? So, and women can be very passive aggressive. Women, sometimes they nag, they argue. You see, the game that I like to give out is the type of game that kind of nullifies all of these different things. You understand? Because one thing you need to understand about a woman who's trying to manipulate or control you, ultimately, she doesn't have any respect for you. You understand? That's number one. If a woman is trying to control you in a relationship, she doesn't have any respect for you. You should be looking for a woman that is willing and ready and happy to follow your lead. So if she's willing, ready, and happy to follow your lead, that means she respects you. That means she believes in you. That means she ultimately wants to follow your direction. And that's the type of woman that you want to deal with, right? So these 4 methods of control by women, if you have a certain amount of game, they won't work on you, right? But if you find yourself dealing with any of these type of situations, understand that you're dealing with a woman that doesn't respect you, and it's probably just about time for you to end that relationship. All right, so it's your boy Miles Cunningham. This has been 4 hidden tactics that women use to control men. All right, be good to yourself, and remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.